Hi guys. So this is the very last installment in Old Man Fookwire's life. I think there are other ones, but I just don't have them yet. So this is Those Darn Squirrels Fly South. And I love the beginning here. Like there's all kinds of great little things here. Old Man Fookwire. What kind of bird is that? That's crazy. All right, so this is the third story. How's everyone doing? I hope you're good. I miss you. It's pretty bad today. Oh, we have the same title page that we've had in the past. Here we go. Those Darn Squirrels Fly South. Those are beautiful tails. But if you remember in the other one, there was this big shadow. And that was the baker and her her lovely cat, which wasn't a lovely cat. All right, here we go. And this is right here. There's a phone booth. Oh my goodness. What is the phone booth doing there? All right, trying to get it so you guys can see really well. Let me move back just a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, here we go. Beautiful pictures. Okay. Old Man Fookwire lived on the edge of town in a beautiful forest full of birds and squirrels, but he was such a grump. Here he is, you can see he's grumpy about something. It's a little better. But he was scolded the fireflies for being too bright, and he yelled at the clouds for being too fluffy. And when the lilacs bloomed, he pinched his nose with a clothespin so he wouldn't have to smell their beautiful scent. What a grump. Well, even for a grump like Fookwire, it had been a glorious summer. He had spent most of his time painting the colorful birds that visited his backyard. Sometimes by accident, he painted a squirrel. Other times, the squirrels painted themselves. Then Fookwire would shake his old man fist and shout, "Are you ready? Those darn squirrels!" Well, but now it was fall, and the weather had turned crisp. The leaves had changed colors, and soon the birds would fly south for the winter. Fookwire would have to endure the long, cold winter and the months alone. Oh, right here, I don't know if you can see that. He writes in his diary, "Dear diary, the birds are going to leave soon, and that makes me sad." That makes me sad for Fookwire. Well, not exactly. I'll show you the picture and then I'll read it to you. You can see all these beautiful details in the story. I just love it. Well, he was not exactly alone. The squirrels would be there too. Normally the squirrels spent winters playing ping pong, building ships in bottles, and knitting. But this year, they had other plans. They were curious about the birds and where they went for vacation, so they decided they were going to follow them. You can see all these contraptions that they're getting ready to build. Now, not many people know this, but you guys do. You know this. Squirrels have a comprehensive understanding of aerodynamic engineering. It means they're super crafty and clever. They built gyrocopters from pine cones. They built gliders from leaves. They even built a zeppelin from an old shopping bag. Here's their zeppelin here. And here's their pine cone. All kinds of things here. Well, I'll show you this up close. Oh, look at Old Man Fookwire. He looks sad. See, they're all going south. When the frost first arrived and the bonga bonga birds took off, followed by the baba birds and the yaba birds, they circled the house, waved goodbye to Fookwire, and headed south. The flugel birds spent a few minutes scarfing the last of the farfel seeds, and then he took off too. Fookwire pouted as the sound of flapping wings faded into the distance, and he turned to go inside and heard a rustling in the trees. Rustling in the trees, I wonder. Followed by a whir, and the whir followed by a buzz. And there they go. It was the squirrels! They were launching the machines one by one. Some of the aircraft flew straighter than the others, but eventually they all flew up and away from the harvest-colored treetops and into the cool blue autumn air. The old man could hardly believe his eyes. Great googly moogly! It's a whole flock of flying squirrels! You can see them here. Well, the squirrels followed the flugelbird for days. They flew through the air, through the day and night, and the rain, and the turbulence. Then finally, when the squirrels thought they couldn't fly any longer, the flugelbird swooped down and landed gracefully on a beach. The squirrels landed with a crunch. Show you the whole picture here. Well, the beach was so warm and beautiful, the squirrels were so happy to be done flying, they decided to have a fiesta. They went swimming and ate mangoes with salt and lime. They played the marimba and danced the merengue. The party lasted all night long. Having a good time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's some new things here. Oof. Well, over the next few weeks, the squirrels made themselves right at home. There were many new plants to snack on. There were also new birds to see. There were cocoa birds and kiki birds and caramba birds. There were too many birds to count. One of the birds reminded the squirrels of someone they knew. I wonder. Well, deep in the snowy woods, a strange noise woke old man Fookwire from his nap. It was the telephone. He was getting a call. When he picked up the receiver, the operator asked if he would accept the charges for a long-distance call from the village of Santa Vaca. There was a chattering on the line. "How's that, squirrels?" They're giving him a call. I wonder why. Well, the old man missed the birds, and even though he would never admit it, he missed those squirrels too, so he decided to join them. Fookwire had a car that he had kept under a tarp in the shed by the stream. He bought it in 1957, and he had driven it only twice. He loaded it up with his easel and pastel brushes and paints and fixed himself a snack of cottage cheese, with pepper, of course, and he hit the road. Then he drove 12 miles an hour all the way to Santa Vaca. The nice people behind him had plenty of time to admire his car. I'm not entirely sure that everyone's super happy. That's a long line of cars. Well, finally, Fookwire arrived in the little village. He spotted a flugelbird flying overhead, followed him to the beach, and when he got out of the car, the squirrels gave him a great big hug. He still doesn't look thrilled, but I like the one on his head. Well, maybe it was the nice weather. Oh, there's a old man Fookwire we haven't seen before. Well, maybe it was the nice weather, and maybe it was the beautiful scenery, and maybe it was the squirrels dancing around everywhere. But for the first time in a very long time, the old man laughed. Soon he set up his easel and began to paint Daba Dobo, said the cocoa bird. Daba Bobo, sang the Kiki bird. Fookwire was overjoyed. The birds here are even more amazing than the birds back home, he exclaimed. Harumph, said the Flugelbird. He didn't really like that. Well, the sun was very hot. Fookwire sweated. He kept on painting. Fookwire sweltered, but he kept on painting. Then Fookwire slumped forward, face first into his painting. Oh dear, he's a little red here. The squirrels dragged the old man into the shade and gave him some water. He was as red as a bunga bird. Well, he decided it was time to go home. The squirrels decided to go with him. They'd had a wonderful vacation, but after all, it was almost time for their annual show, their snow fort building competition. They had one last snack of mango. Then Fookwire waved goodbye to the birds, and they all piled into the car. Here we go. The trip back home was much quicker for all of them. The squirrels drove most of the way. Those darn squirrels! Those darn squirrels fly south. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. That's the last one of the book of 3 for this particular story. I have others that I am planning on reading and getting out to you guys. I would love it if you wrote me a summary or just wrote something to me on Google Classroom, or even you could even do it on Class Dojo and tell me what you thought. I hope everyone is well. I know myself and Mr. Byrne and Mrs. McMasters and Mrs. Boyd, we all miss you. So hang in there, guys. We love you.